Hey guys, my name is Rebecca Stewart, and today I'm going to be presenting to you guys the song Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. Um, a little about what I will be discussing with you is Bruce Springsteen's background, um, a few facts about the Vietnam War, and the impact the soldiers had when they returned home from war. So, a little bit about Bruce Springsteen himself. Some of you may not be familiar with Bruce, but after he experienced a difficult relationship with his father, he fell in love with Elvis Presley after he saw his performance on the Ed Sullivan Show. Um, Once time passed, his mother eventually took out a loan to buy him a $60 guitar for his 16th birthday, and he took that into consideration, and after a few years of perfecting the guitar, he eventually released his album Born in the USA, and this was not his first album that he recorded, but this album did have 7 singles that hit the top of the Billboard charts, including the song Born in the USA. In fact, Born in the USA became one of the best selling records of all time. So here I have the lyrics of the song Born in the USA. I will play the entire song, and if you would like, you can sing along, but there is also a link down here at the bottom of the page where you could go and watch the video as well. So here we'll get a little started. It's a little over 4 minutes, so enjoy. Okay, so that was Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. Um, the video that I have for the link down here, it really kind of shows how, or the music video provides kind of what this, it kind of gives a background of the song. So I would I would highly recommend that you go and view that video. It just is a really good video that gives kind of the storyline, what I will be talking about of Born in the USA. So now transitioning into the historical part of Born in the USA, I'm going to start by talking about some of the facts of the Vietnam War. And this is a slide that I have provided just a few facts about those who served in the Vietnam War. And as you can see, there were 2 million plus soldiers who were involved in the U.S. military, and of those 2 million, 1.6 million of those soldiers served in combat overseas. So that is a very high percentage of those who were physically involved with such a horrible war. 300,000 of them were physically wounded. That does not include the ones who were killed, which I have included also, which was 58,000 who were killed in action. And then 2,387 were listed as missing in action or imprisonment. So that is just a little bit about, or a little facts about some of the soldiers who fought in Vietnam War. Okay, so now I am going to talk a little about the song, and I'm going to break it down by stanza and kind of give a little background of the research that I have done on the song. And so this first stanza in the song Born in the USA, Bruce sings, born down in a dead man's town. The first kick I took was when I hit the ground. End up like a dog that's been beat too much, till you spend half your life just covering up. So this is about how an individual comes from a very rundown town and how he gets in trouble with the town. And that's when it is talking about covering up, and the rundown town is where it says right here, end up like a dog that's been beat too much. And so that's a little about the first stanza. Now to the second stanza, this one is a little bit more explanatory than the first one, but it reads, got in a little hometown jam, so they put a rifle in my hand, sent me off to a foreign land to go and kill the yellow man. So this one is talking about the individual who does commit a crime where a hometown jam and is imprisoned because of the crime he has committed, and eventually has the choice to serve his time in prison or for his country, where it talks about how they are putting a rifle in his hand and sending him off to the foreign land, to Vietnam. And the yellow man are the Vietnamese soldiers. So now, the third stanza that I kind of provided in this little presentation, it talks about, well, I want to go over first about this. They're still there. He's all gone. That really caught my eye because it talks about the soldiers who may have been even Bruce's friends were killed in combat. And it talks about later in the next stanza, this two-line stanza, about how some of the soldiers spent some of their time over there. I wouldn't say necessarily hooking up, but they spent time with some of the Vietnamese women and really tried to get to know them. And the only type of leftover memories they had were pictures of these Vietnamese women in their arms. And that's where it says right here where my cursor is, I got a picture of him in her arms now. So that's a little interesting to me. Continuing, or this is my last slide, I believe, about this song, and it talks more about the soldiers returning home, and many of them suffered from PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, and found it very difficult to fit into society. They found it difficult to find jobs. Their families suffered, and in fact, they experienced hate from their own country. They did not receive any warm welcoming home from their country. It was just an awful experience for these soldiers, and that's where some of the psychological issues became a problem for them, and they experienced it for the longest time, for the rest of their life, for most of them. And I mean, this even caused some people, individuals, to commit suicide, and this is just all the post-traumatic stress disorders that many of the soldiers did experience. And so, to sum it up, the Vietnam War was not only destructive to the countries, but also to the soldiers and their families as well, which I mentioned earlier. So that is just a little brief presentation about the song "Born in the USA" and how the Vietnam War was a time period during this song and when it was released, and how the soldiers were really impacted. And Bruce really does sing about how, and the song is really upbeat, and he really takes pride in what he is singing. And so that is a little bit about Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA, and these are my two bibliography pages, and I hope you learned a little bit about Born in the USA and how it relates to the Vietnam War and the impact the soldiers had. Thank you.